Hi everyone, this is my crazy book. It's where I put all my concept and my ideas. I'm actually gonna go through it a bit line by line so you can understand what my concept was for the Valkeria Skyguard. First of all, what I do is I like to take some references. So like Harpies, the Rocketeer, the base I wanted to be a little bit Art Deco, very geometric. Stratus was a character from Masters of the Universe, so I had the whole idea that maybe she was going to have wings on her arms or something like that. I actually really decided I had to go with Monster Clay Hard, which was the best choice ever. Sculpting her was much better than Iron Mold. The Valkyries, obviously that's inspired in the, I think, Norse mythology. The Valkyries were female warriors that used to fly. So I just needed a female character for this month, and I thought something to balance with the whole barbarian feel. The objective here is to create a strong female character inspired by myth of the Valkyries and combine it with the first women flyers of the beginning of the 19th century. I really like that old school airplane pilot vibe from the beginning, like the First World War, and so I thought this design would be really cool to do something like that, a little bit different than the whole fantasy thing that I've been doing for a while. So first of all, she had to be female, she had to be a strong female, but I didn't want to make her muscular. She had to have flowing hair, which was my first technical challenge, trying to create flowing hair in Monster Clay. Airman clothes. I've also sculpted a figurine for the Heavy Metal magazine, and it was a zombie in airman clothes from I think it was more like a Second World War period. Had so much fun creating him. I really wanted to visit that concept again, but now for a female character. Jetpack and tech wings. So yeah, I didn't want to make feather wings. I wanted to make actual airplane wings. So I've been enjoying this this part of mixing up the tech with the organic. So I said here, maybe wings and feathers on feet and arms. That was the whole Stratus idea that I didn't really go with. I ended up going with metal and rivets. In the base, I actually wanted the eagle head wings geometry like top of a tower. Something like Art Deco, which ended up, obviously I didn't make it the same size as her. I made it a bit smaller, so scanning. But this was the idea that I actually ended up coming up with. I didn't actually make the eagle wing because of the time frame, but I was really happy how it came out. And as for the weapon, you saw the lance, so I created the lance head that ended up being the main weapon part, and I used it for the actual individual lances that she uses. One of the other things that I noticed that this time I had to sculpt things separately, so it's easier to scan, and I wouldn't have any issues with the scanning. So even the parts that I've created for her face, those were scanned separately, and so was the jetpack, which was also created separately. So I scanned that separately, so it was all mounted in the ZBrush. So the head option helmet, I didn't know where I was going to go with that. I ended up going for the mask that ended up being her alternate version, and the goggles that I just showed you, and the V-shape on the jacket. That was the whole idea that I wanted to get here, was that whole V-shape on the jacket that I thought would be really cool. That's just a glimpse on where my mind goes in my crazy book. So thank you for listening to this little share about my crazy book and where my details come from, and sometimes the thoughts that I have creating characters. Thank you.